Good morning. It's 10 o'clock. It's about time to start our service. Please put your phones in worship mode. Yes, worship mode. We don't want to hear them going off. So, welcome to the UUCLC. And our opening hymn, our opening song is Come and Go With Me.
It's not my phone. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I'm bound. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm bound.
Our opening words today are by Marjorie Squire. We come together in faith and hope to find what meaning life holds for us, to laugh and sing with one another, to soothe the wounds of daily life, and to grow together in wisdom and love.
Our chalice lighting words are from Jennifer Kwong, entitled 3 Jewels. We take refuge in all that is holy. We take refuge in sacred teachings throughout the ages. We take refuge in our community of faith and in the interdependent web of life. We're in between things. So some people are wearing masks, some are not. Still, if you are not wearing a mask, you should definitely hum with the songs rather than sing out. So bear with us with all these changes that are happening kind of constantly. So please rise in body or spirit and join me in saying our church's Affirmation of Covenant, and then humming the Doxology, which Cathy and Mark will sing in English and Spanish. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve others in community, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with creation. Thus do we covenant with one another.
From all that dwell below the skies, Let songs of hope and faith arise. Let peace, goodwill on earth be sung. Through every land, by every tongue. De todos bajo el gran sol, sin esperanza, fe, amor, verdad, belleza en la canción, de cada tierra, cada voz.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Las Cruces. We welcome those of you who are in our sanctuary this morning, as well as those who are joining us via streaming technology somewhere out in the ether. I am Rabbitt Loring, and I'm your service associate this morning. Rebecca Richins is our service leader. We are delighted to be with you. Unitarian Universalism has no creed or dogma. We're a covenant-based church, meaning that we agree to live in relationship with each other according to the Unitarian Universalist principles and our congregation's covenant of right relations. We embrace diversity in all its forms. Everyone is welcome. You can learn more about our church and check the events calendar on our website, UUCLC.org. If you are visiting today, we would like to meet you. If you're in the sanctuary, please stand or raise your hand and introduce yourself by telling us your name, where you're from, and how you heard about our church. Do we have a microphone?
Yes.
We do. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Are there any visitors in the sanctuary? Well, welcome, friends who've been here for a long time. Are there any visitors online? Apparently not. Okay. So if you're a shy visitor but curious about our church, please feel free to fill out a visitor's card in the lobby or leave your email in the chat box so we can invite you to other services and activities at the church. Directly following this service, there will be a time for fellowship and conversation with one another under the portico, which is out here between the sanctuary and the RE building, outside in the fresh air with no food. I'm sorry. For those on Zoom, if you wish, please stay on the Zoom link to chat with one another after the service. Our service leader this morning is Rebecca Richins. She's been the leader of a covenant group, my covenant group, for 16 years, even though I haven't been there 16 years. But she will be sharing with us this morning information on what covenant groups are, how they work, and how they got started at UUCLC. Today, I have these announcements from the Hospitality Committee. The Hospitality Committee members have decided not to resume coffee hours this Sunday as they had hoped due to the continued high incidence of the COVID-19 Omicron variant. We are not setting a specific return date for now. This is a dynamic situation which we are monitoring closely. We will get back to serving the congregation as soon as it's safe to do so. Hope to see everyone soon. From the Caring Conversations, this Wednesday, we're once again offering a caring conversation at a new time, 9 a.m. Come when you can, stay as long as you can for the 3 C's, caring, conversation, and caffeine. Bring your own caffeine. The Zoom link will appear in the Week at a Glance email. Auction, the Auction Planning Committee. Anyone interested in being part of the Auction Planning Committee is invited to contact Katie Fitzgerald in person after the service or by phone or email. Planning sessions are via Zoom, and the auction event will be in the late afternoon on the first Sunday of May. Please mark your calendars for an afternoon at the races, May 7th. You might have noticed the book cart out in the lobby of the church. There's also one in the library. These carts have some wonderful books that have been donated to be sold in order to raise funds for the library and for the church. You may purchase these books with a donation of your choosing. Please be generous and enjoy your new books. Roundtable. Got a lot of announcements today. This is a happening church, right? There's a lot going on. This is great. State Representative Joanne Ferrari is the roundtable speaker at 2 p.m. today via Zoom. She will report on the outcomes of the recently concluded legislative short session in Santa Fe, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Everyone is welcome. See Sherry Kofelt's Week at a Glance email or the notice of the worship service email for the Zoom link. What is congregational polity? What does it mean to be a free church? Discuss these and other questions when you enroll in the new UU class designed especially for those new to our church. 4 sessions on Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m., March 10th through 31st, or Sundays from 11:30 to 1:30 p.m. on March 13th through April 3rd. Call or email the church to register. If you want to know more today, please meet the facilitator, Reverend Nancy Anderson, at the front of the sanctuary after the service. Okay. Thank you all for being with us here today. And now we have time for all ages.
I Am Human, a book of empathy by Susan Verde, art by Peter H. Reynolds. I was born, a miracle, one of billions but unique. I am human. I am always learning. I'm finding my way and choosing my path on this incredible journey. I have big dreams. I see possibility. I have endless curiosity. I make discoveries. I have a feeling of wonder. I am amazed by nature. I have a playful side. I find joy in friendships. I am human. But being human means I am not perfect. I make mistakes. I can hurt others with my words, my actions, and even my silence. I can be hurt too. I can be fearful of things I don't yet understand, and timid to try something new. I have a heavy heart when I feel sadness. I am human. But then I remind myself that because I am human, I can make choices. I can move forward. A poor choice can become a better choice with thoughtfulness. A bad day can become a great day with kindness. I can act with compassion and lend a helping hand. I can treat others with equality and be fair. I can choose not to fight, but instead to listen and find common ground. I can say, I'm sorry, and ask for forgiveness. I am human, one of billions, but unique. I am not alone. I am connected to my friends, to my family, to the world. We are all humans together. And I will keep trying to be the best version of me. I am full of hope. I am human. Thanks for watching. If you like this book, please subscribe for more kids' books read aloud.
We have something a little different today. We're going to light candles, as we do sometimes. And we light candles for many reasons: to celebrate our joys, to carry our sorrows, to lessen the worries that we carry in our hearts that may be hard to put into words. This morning, let us add another reason: to give thanks for what we have received from each other in community, something for which we are grateful. Allow the flame to share what lies deep within us. So if you would like to come light a candle, come down the center aisle and we will give you a candle to light from. Walk the maze within your heart. Guide your steps into its questioning curves. This labyrinth is a puzzle leading you deeper into your own truths. Listen to the twists and turns. Listen in the openness within all searching. Listen A wisdom within you calls to a wisdom beyond you. And in that dialogue lies peace.
When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down.
When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part when darkness comes and pain is all around, like a bridge
Over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. Sail on, silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine when you need a friend.
I'm sailing right behind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your
I ask members of the covenant groups at UUCLC to provide one-word answers for what their covenant group means to them. These are their words: community, friendship, motivation, warmth, spiritual, unity, acceptance, stimulating, hope, fellowship, connections, openness,
trust, anchor, enrichment, searching, enjoyment, support, wayfinding, comforting, non-judgmental, energy, welcoming.
That just gives you a little bit of an idea of what covenant groups mean to its members. I think the words, some of the biggest words on there, which were felt by a lot of people, was community and friendship. Today, I want to talk to you about what covenant groups are, how they got started at UUCLC, and what groups are meeting now. And then we'll hear from some of the members of the different covenant groups about their experiences. So what are covenant groups? Covenant groups are a type of small group ministry. So it's a ministry of the church. In fact, they originated from evangelical megachurches. They were developed to support connections between members and give them a sense of community, which is what they do for us as well. Covenant groups began here at UUCLC in 2006 by Reverend Nancy Anderson with help from a variety of people, including Maggie Locatelli, Chris Ramsey, and Catherine Massey. These groups were set up originally to have about 6 to 12 members, and now they have 4 to maybe 17. So we have a lot of variety. A facilitator leads the meetings, but that may even switch around, and maybe they don't all have a set facilitator. How does a meeting run? There's a brief check-in, then there are readings and questions about a particular topic or theme. Participants can answer the questions from the heart, while other members listen thoughtfully without judgment or interruption, followed by a moment of silence, except not in our group. We are very much non-judgmental. We do not interrupt, but that moment of silence doesn't exist. Anything that is shared is held confidential. And that is a big part of why people feel that they can share from the heart. Each group develops a covenant for how they will interact with each other. Most of the groups here meet about twice a month. And groups have traditionally conducted service projects to help the congregation usually. Our group, we've done a variety of different types of service projects. We made a wooden cabinet for art for the gallery. We installed a sculpture in the rose garden. So there's just 2 examples. We've done food for the congregation. We've done lots of things. We're putting on this meeting, this service today. So our group has done a variety of different service projects. There are currently 5 or 6 groups, depending on how you want to define a covenant group. Some of those groups share facilitation by passing it around with the different members within the group. Some of these groups are meeting completely on Zoom now. Our group met on Zoom for a while, and we are back in person, as have some of the other groups. Some of the people, some of the covenant groups have chosen to meet over a meal or over coffee. There's a group of snowbirds that meets really only when everybody here is in town. We'll hear from them a little later. There is a new group that developed after a recent Build Your Own Theology class, and we'll hear from them as well. The choir actually functions almost like a covenant group, and we'll hear from them as well. There's even been the new member covenant group that only met for 4 sessions. So we've had a variety of different versions of covenant groups here within our church. we used to have a covenant group that was just for the facilitators. So the facilitators of the covenant groups met once a month just to have another covenant group. That was really fun, usually at Reverend Nancy's house, and we laughed. We laughed till we cried. That was part of it. It was very important to be able to laugh. Our group, our covenant group, has been together since the very beginning. And I have served as the facilitator all of that time. If you are interested in participating potentially in a covenant group, afterwards, there will be one of our members, Sarah Thomas, will be in the lobby with a sign-up sheet if you would like to join a covenant group. Maybe you used to be in one and you'd like to get back into it, or you just want to find out more information. For those people that are on Zoom, please put your information in the chat and explain that you would like to learn more about a covenant group. I did not put my words in my video because I asked everybody to put one word in and I couldn't. And I felt it was rude to make a rule, then not use it at all. And I thought about it, and my word is not one word, it's two. What do covenant groups mean to me? Covenant groups are my people. That's what covenant groups mean to me. We will hear from 5 different members of covenant groups. I'll tell you first who's going to speak, and then we'll have them move through. We're going to hear from Mark Sukontarak, who is a member of my covenant group, and he has been here from the beginning as well, a member of this. We will hear from Margaret Keeney, who is representing the Snowbirds group. We will hear from Jeff Harris, who is representing the Seekers group, which is the newest covenant group. We will hear from Cathy Cox, who is the newest member of our covenant group and also is a member of the choir, which is functioning as a covenant group. And finally, we will hear from Linda Rogers, who is in our group as well. She led the new member group, and she has been a member of several covenant groups outside of this church. So we get to hear a lot of perspectives. And we'll start with Mark.
Hi. I love my church. I'm not talking about this lovely refurbished sanctuary. I am talking about this rich community. This community, my community. This group of people that I know and care about. I may be like many of you in that when I came to this church, what I was really looking for was community. A community can be thought of as a large network of interwoven, enduring, interpersonal friendships. Friendships built over time through discovered, developed, and aligned common interests and goals. A community is, in this way, an entity of its own, with its own external personality and aspirations. Central to this community, and to each of us individually, is building enduring, meaningful friendships. Building friendships are what covenant groups are all about. They are organized, carried out, and sized to nurture friendship development. A measure of the success of a covenant group is the number and depth of friendships it fosters. I moved here from Maryland in 2003, and since I was already a UU, I searched out and found this church, then joined it immediately. Soon after, I wanted to deepen my relationship. I was able to do that by volunteering to serve. I became a greeter and I joined committees, but that was all work. Some of you may object to being put to work right away. Joining covenant groups is another way. When this covenant group formed in the spring of 2006, I joined it in the hopes of making friends. And oh boy, did I. In the years since we formed, we have had much turnover. Only a few of the original members remain. Some moved away. Some beloved members passed away. Some decided to join other groups. But all along the way, we have had new, vibrant, active members to replace them. And I have gained many enduring friendships. In our early meetings, a group member would share a thought and others would pause and listen and contemplate. We were intentionally learning to listen. Then another person would share, not questioning the previous speaker. And so it would go. As our friendships developed, our way of speaking evolved. As we came to know each other better, and in the interest of helping each other, we dared to start asking personal questions. We would even offer personal advice at times. This demonstrated a deepening trust in each other, a trust that what was shared would remain confidential. There's much more I could say, but at this point, Becca is the person who organized us, and Becca runs Toastmasters, and she's pretty strict about keeping us to our time limit. There is much more I could say, but at this point, I want to change gears to wrap it up. And apparently, I look like I might be repeating a little bit, maybe just this a little bit. I'm really into covenant groups. So if you want to join a covenant group, I was going to say see me, but apparently there is a sign-up sheet out there that Sarah has. I guess that's the thing to do. If you want to start one, well, I guess you ought to see Sarah for that too. If you want to learn how to lead one, well, that's coming along soon. You can see me for that. I think we're going to end up going to Nancy for that eventually. Oh, I jumping the gun on that? I don't know. Okay. If you want to discuss new ideas about covenant groups, see me for that. If you're also excited about covenant groups and want to help me, definitely see me. Thank you.
And now we have Margaret.
All right, good morning. Thank you. My husband Ray and I have been snowbirds from Minnesota to Las Cruces for about 16 years. And we've been part of the Snowbird Covenant group here for about 12 of those years. So inspired have I been by Doug Loomis's facilitating of this Snowbird Covenant group that I started 2 covenant groups back in Winona, Minnesota at our UU fellowship. Here's what I like about a covenant group, and some of it may be repeating what Mark just said. It's about listening, about personal lived experiences, and about that covenant. Listening, we've said it, it isn't always easy for UUs, but wow, is it powerful. During the check-in portion of the agenda, each of us has a chance to say just as much or little about what's been going on in our lives. No one interrupts, adds, or asks questions. We stay focused on what's being said, not on what we want to know. It's personally validating, and somehow I find it very comforting. Second, personal lived experiences. Unlike a book club, say, the covenant group's discussion time is not about analyzing, critiquing, asserting opinions. It's about our lives, what we've seen, what we've done, what we've not done. The sharing is honest and real. In my covenant groups, the 3 of them that I'm involved in, I've listened to how an Asian American feels about passing, about how a widow makes decisions, about how a college professor regretted never thanking the high school teacher who turned his life around. In our Snowbird Covenant group here, our backgrounds range from small farm, rural areas to big cities, from fundamentalist religion to high Episcopal, about our kids who have made it and those who struggle with everything. And covenant. Ray and I appreciate very much the commitment of the Snowbird Covenant members of this church. We meet religiously twice a month during the winter, and with COVID, we Zoomed all year round, which was a change. And because of COVID, we could do that. And everyone who could be was always there. Ray and I could count on it. And the topics are fascinating. Music, play, this I believe, rituals, what makes a great day for you? Moving, risk-taking, creating and destroying, gossip. And one of my favorites, if you could invite 3 people, dead or alive, fictional or real, to a dinner party, who would they be? With this one, and I got to do this 3 times, we learned about the extraordinary lives of those dinner guests, but even more about the extraordinary lives of our UU Snowbird Covenant members. And I thank them all, and I thank this church. We both do. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jeff Harris. My wife Keisha and I started attending this church 2 years ago, right before the pandemic started. During the pandemic, when we couldn't meet in person, we began attending an online discussion group using the UU book, Build Your Own Theology. This discussion group grew into a covenant group called Seekers. We meet online every 2 weeks. In the summer, we met 3 or 4 times in person and then went back on Zoom. So, you know how it goes. So this year, we're discussing world religions with the help of Houston Smith's book and videos online. I value the process of seeking wisdom and meaning from diverse sources and doing so within the context of a supportive community of fellow seekers. One of the ideas affirmed in our group covenant is that we agree to support human dignity by listening to and learning about one another and recognizing the validity of diverse perspectives. In this way, I have a regular opportunity to practice some of my core Unitarian Universalist values. For example, we are currently discussing 2 wisdom traditions that developed in China thousands of years ago, Taoism and Confucianism. I have a preference for the more romantic Taoist philosophy, but it is a good practice for me to also see the value in the more pragmatic Confucian approach. A few months ago, when we were discussing Hinduism, I enjoyed listening to fellow seekers who believe in reincarnation, even though that belief is not a part of my own personal theology. The opportunity to express different beliefs, but to be joined in the common search for truth and wisdom is something that I deeply value about being a Unitarian Universalist. My Seekers Covenant group gives me the ideal place to put these values into practice on a regular basis.
I'm new to this covenant group led by Becca, but already I've found that it has encouraged my growth and my feeling of connection, not only with the other members of the group, but with the entire congregation. Somehow, getting to know more about a subset of the congregation has increased my sense of belonging to the whole congregation. Becca does a great job of finding topics for delving into our past and what makes us what we are. This solidifies my sense of being a UU, and it reminds me of my love for this congregation. I've been a member of the choir since about 2010, and the director, Catherine Massey, tells me that that has been a covenant group since 2005. Mark is also in that covenant group. Every year, except during COVID, Catherine printed up the covenant for the choir. Being in the choir has also helped me to grow a lot and to feel very connected to not only the other members, but the whole congregation. I liked that the camaraderie of the choir seemed to help the church get through some really tough times. When we had those tough times, and again with COVID, I've found that my outlook is not as bleak as it could have been, since I realize that I'm lucky enough to be with such wonderful people regularly. My ringtone for UUs is uplift, because the people here are so uplifting. There are differences in how the covenant groups operate, but as Reverend Nancy Anderson said, this is how you do it, unless you decide to do it some other way. Both groups have helped me to grow and to strengthen my connection with the church.
Good morning. My name is Linda Rogers. And since becoming a Unitarian Universalist, I have interacted with 5 separate covenant groups. Today, I'm going to talk about the 2 that have had the most meaningful impact on me. The first I will refer to as being a UU version 1.0. In January of 2003, I moved from the Midwest to New England for an employment opportunity. I quickly joined the Unitarian Universalist Church of Concord, New Hampshire, and became a card-carrying UU for the first time. Shortly thereafter, I joined a covenant group and continued with this group, along with 3 other members, uninterrupted for the next 15 years. Additional members came and went over the years, along with different ministers, but we maintained a core group and a total membership between 8 and 10 participants. A covenant group functions separately from the pulpit. That's an important point. We met once a month at the church library, took the summers off, had a summer potluck, and endeavored to take on a social justice project once a year. So what is this covenant group experience about? It is a place to nurture long-term friendships that often lead to activities outside of the group settings. It is a place to replenish emotional and spiritual reserves in an otherwise busy life. It is a place for intellectual stimulation and learning. It is a place for mutual support during the good times and the bad times too. And especially important, it is a safe place to discuss deeply personal issues. I transitioned right in the middle of this 15-year chapter in my life. The second experience I will refer to as being a UU version 2.0, the present. In August of 2018, I moved from New England to Las Cruces to escape the cold winters and enjoy a well-earned retirement in the sun. I quickly joined UUCLC and joined the Covenant group facilitated by Rebecca and have been an active member in the group ever since. Sounds very similar to version 1.0, doesn't it? Well, it is. And all the attributes I just mentioned apply to the present. Both of these groups have significantly enriched my life, but in different ways. Both versions are very similar. So what is the difference? The answer is that I am a different person I was some 18 years ago when this UU journey started. I am very different, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and socially. All for the better, I may add. To this end, I have been better served by version 2.0, the present. Through participation, I've been introduced to multiple social circles that have enabled me to assimilate into the community and establish deep and meaningful friendships. This is the theory of overlapping circles. I highly recommend you employ it. Plus, our remarkable climate allows for plentiful outdoor activities. We insist on having fun. You, my fellow UU journeymen and Covenant group members, past and present, have been invaluable companions on the road less traveled. I don't know what else to say. Thank you, and I'm delighted to call Las Cruces home and UUCLC my spiritual home.
Wow, wonderful presentations. Thank you all. We have been worshiping in our refurbished sanctuary since September, and we're streaming each service to include as many people as possible. We're continuing to practice indoor masking and social distancing, probably for a while yet, to help end the spread of the COVID-19 and its variants. During the past year, many of the church's expenses continued. Some have increased since our reopening. It's vitally important for the ongoing work and health of the church that each of us fulfill our financial pledge, if at all possible. All through the pandemic, we've continued to support organizations identified by the Social Justice Committee as recipients of our Change for Change program. The recipient for this quarter is La Casa, whose mission is to support those affected by domestic violence while striving to prevent abuse and promote healthy relationships among individuals and families. You can make your pledge or donate to Change for Change by putting checks and change in the basket, by sending your checks to the church, or by using the Give link on our church's website.
When you're down and troubled and you need a helping hand, and nothing's going right, close your eyes and think of me. Soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, All you gotta do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. You got a friend.
If the sky above you should grow dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to flow, keep your head together and call my name out loud. Soon you'll hear me knocking at your door.
You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. You got a friend. Ain't it good to know you got a friend? People can be so cold. They'll hurt you, desert you. They'll take your soul if you let them. But don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. You got a friend.
For the gifts which we have received and the gifts which we ourselves are, may we be truly grateful. May we be committed to using these gifts to make a difference in the world, to increase love and justice, to decrease hatred and oppression, to expand beloved community, to share and to keep sharing as long as ever we can. If you're looking for a spiritual home and are sympathetic with the Unitarian Universalist values and principles, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Las Cruces may be the place for you. We believe that when you become a member, you're entering into a warm and deep relationship with the church and all of our members and friends. You're becoming a part of something much bigger than any of us. You're becoming a part of a movement to change our community and to change the world. There are several routes you can take to membership. Speak with Katie Fitzgerald after the service. Call the church and leave a message about your interest, and a person from the membership committee will call you, or sign the virtual membership book through the link in the electronic order of service.
This is a participation song, right? Oh,
How
let me
long
see.
you like?
Yeah, it's up there. Took off the capo.
Somos el barco, somos el mar. Yo navego en ti, tú navegas en mí. We are the boat, we are the sea. I sail in you, you sail in me. The stream sings it to the river sings it to the sea. The sea sings it to the boat that carries you and me. Somos el barco, somos el mar. You navego and he, the navigators and me. We are the boat, we are the sea. I sail in you, you sail in me.
The boat we are sailing in was built by many hands, and the sea we are sailing on touches many lands.
Somos el barco, somos el mar. You navego and he, you navegos and me. We are the boat, we are the sea. I sail in you, you sail in me. So with our hopes we raise the sails to face the winds once more. And with our hearts we chart the waters never sailed before. Somos el barco, somos el mar. You navego and he, you navegas on me. We are the boat, we are the sea. I sail in you, you sail in me.
Our closing words today are by Margaret Mead, and these are ones that are old familiars. You're probably very aware of these. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has.
Please join me in saying the words to extinguish the flame. Extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.